Come check this.
Hello everybody and welcome back to the MXGP of Australia, presented by Sitzler, the final round of 2025. And up next on MXGP-TV.com, the final race of the year for the FIM Women's Motocross World Championship, where 3 riders are still in with a shot at being crowned world champion. Lotte van Drunen is in the driving seat, 11 points clear now of Chiara Fontanesi. It was 16 before race 1 on Saturday. Heading into race 2 today though, it's down to 11 after Chiara Fontanesi was victorious from Daniela Guillen, with van Drunen in 3rd. Behind Fontanesi in the championship chase in 3rd position, we have Daniela Guillen. She's just another 4 points further back, so only 15 points separate the top 3 as they head into the final race of the year. 20 minutes plus 2 laps. And we are here in the Northern Territory in Australia, right at the top of the country in Darwin. It's a bit breezier today, but it's even more muggy. We've got a lot of cloud cover. We had a lot of rainstorms through the night in and around the area. Nothing too much here, though, but there's a bit more humidity in the air. The midges are desperate to sort of snap at our ankles and things like that. So it might even be a slightly tougher race than yesterday in some respects, where the race was run under blazing sunshine and hot temperatures. Don't be fooled, just because there's no sunshine out there, it's still going to be a very, very tough race. And of course, mentally, these 3 riders are going into this race not knowing who will be crowned world champion. They will all be mindful of the fact that either one of them can be. Lotte van Drunen going for her 2nd straight title, Chiara Fontanesi going for title number 7, Daniela Guillen is going for her 1st world championship crown. The racetrack has had some moisture in it overnight. It's been ripped and prepped in some places, maybe not all, but this racetrack here, 1,540 meters long, or 1.5K, just under a mile, 0.957, is getting ready to go racing again. We had a fantastic atmosphere all around this racetrack yesterday because a couple of Australian locals wildcarding this weekend. Charlie Cannon, she was up challenging for the lead in the first race, and so too was Taylor McCutcheon. Lotte van Drunen needs to finish 6th or higher to be crowned world champion here today. She's 11 points clear of Chiara Fontanesi. But let's go down to the grid. We caught up a few moments ago with Lotte van Drunen and Chiara Fontanesi. They were both talking to Lisa Leyland.
Okay, we're almost ready for the 2nd WMX race of the weekend. We will have a world champion crowned after this race. It's super exciting, but who it will be, who knows? Let's grab a few words with Chiara Fontanesi. Chiara, it was tough conditions yesterday, but you managed the situation well. You picked up your 52nd consecutive victory. You were looking good yesterday. How are you feeling?
Well, I felt super good on the track. I mean, I took the all-shot, and that's what you need to make your own rhythm from lap 1. That could help me to, let's say, do my rhythm and put a little bit of a gap in the beginning, and then manage a little bit because of the super hot. And I won. I did everything I could, and super happy about this.
And actually, on a race like this, and we saw yesterday, there are other good Australian riders getting in the mix, and they're going to play their part, aren't they?
Yeah, there are. And yeah, I was expecting Charlie to be fast. That's good for the battles, and let's hope I can win some points today.
Best of luck. Thank you. Now I have to speak to our points leader and the defending world champion, Lotte van Drunen. Lotte, it's going to be a big day for you, a big race for you. How were the nerves yesterday? You didn't really seem yourself.
No, my riding yesterday was horrible. I don't really know why, because off the track I feel really good, really confident, but as soon as I go on track and there's like some risk, I stiff up. So today I want to go for the whole shot, and we will see from there.
Best of luck. Okay, good luck to all the girls. Chiara, Lotte, who's going to be world champion? We'll see. It's time for the final WMX race.
Anyway, let's take a look at what happened in race 1 yesterday. Everything's set here for race 2, but here's what happened in race 1. The first WMX race then, and charging down the start straight, Taylor McCutcheon on the Kawasaki, Lotte van Drunen, but she couldn't quite get across the Australian on the Kawasaki, and it was the number 8, of Chiara Fontanesi, who led the way. McCutcheon of Australia on the 10 was second. The 7 of Charlie Cannon was third. Van Drunen was in fourth. Guillen was just behind in fifth place. And as they emerged into view at the top of the hill, Guillen already up in the fourth as she slipped up the inside of the championship leader, Van Drunen, and then down the inside of Charlie Cannon to move into third. She then went after the number 10 of McCutcheon, and that opportunity presented itself towards the end of that opening lap. And it was an easy pass the Spaniard made on the Australian. Some riders not so fortunate out on the racetrack, just getting caught out in the conditions there. But watch this here, Cannon out of second. Guillen couldn't see her as she came over the top of the hill. Those two crashed out of second and third. Cannon would have picked herself up in around about sort of 7th, 8th place. Maybe even 12th, actually. Guillen emerged quickly and was able to challenge Taylor McCutcheon again. And on lap 3, she found her way back into that second position with her second pass of the race on the Australian. It took Lotte Van Drunen a couple of laps longer to find a way past the number 10, but eventually she did get herself into third place. And if things stayed as they are, well, Cannon going off again once she got to 9th. She was back down to 10th, eventually came home in 7th position. Amandine Verstappen got the better of the number 10 McCutcheon as well as she moved into 4th, and Papameyer on the final couple of laps would also find a way past to 5th. Taylor McCutcheon on the Kawasaki would come home in 6th. But it was a runaway victory for Chiara Fontanesi. In her mind, she knew exactly what she had to do. Come out, win all the races on offer to give herself a chance of a 7th world title. She's done that in race 1, her 4th win of the season. Daniela Guillen was 2nd, Van Drunen 3rd, Verstappen 4th, Larissa Papameyer was 5th. And the championship now looks like this, heading into the final race of the year. Van Drunen on 2:38, Fontanesi on 2:27, 11 points between the top two. Daniela Guillen sits 4 points further back, and then Verstappen is in 4th. She's only 1 point clear of Larissa Papameyer. Van der Vlis not here, Martin Hughes not here, Danny Gallese and Lynn Volk, of course, none of those are here this weekend. So 1st, 2nd, 3rd still to be decided. 4th and 5th still to be decided as well. Here's how the riders line up for the final race of the year, exactly the same as they did for race 1. Fontanesi on pole. Her time on Saturday was a 1:46.576, half a second quicker than Charlie Cannon on the Honda. Daniela Guillen was next, about 6/10 further back. Lotte Van Drunen, your championship leader on the Debach Yamaha, she goes to the line 4th, ahead of Amandine Verstappen and the rest of the riders, Papameyer, McCutcheon, Taylor Thompson, and behind them, Maddie Simpson, Nelly Franson, Darcy Wally, Alexander Masuri, Leah Rimbas, Madison Healy, Anita Cheplakova, Emily Lambert, Mia Tong, Felicity Shrimpton, Sienna Giudici, and Samantha MacArthur. Sienna Judice, apologies. 3rd overall in the championship, heading into the final race of the season. Daniela Guillen, the RFME Spain national team rider. She looks very relaxed. She has the ability to go out and win this final race, but will it be enough for the Spaniard to be crowned world champion? Chiara Fontanesi, no stranger to winning world titles. 6 in the books already. She is hoping that Australia will present her with her 7th world title. But she's still got work to do. Lotte Van Drunen heading into the final race of the year, 11 points clear. And as always, you'd rather be up front by 11 points than chasing a championship lead of 11 points. And so, who knows what this one will bring? Conditions on the track, will they be slightly different to what we had yesterday? Haven't had the opportunity to get on the track today to see how much grooming that they've been able to do and whether it's pretty high speed, but I know they would have fixed the jumps over the night, start straight, first turn, things like that. Yes, they would have put water down as well. So potentially some anxious and nervous moments for the top 3 riders, but Daniela Guillen, well, she's already going to be guaranteed 3rd place. She arrived here 3rd place in the championship. She's got absolutely nothing to lose, everything to gain. But Chiara Fontanesi, who reduced that points gap yesterday by 5. Knows she has the speed, but can she deliver? Can Lotte Van Drunen deliver here at the final race of the year in Australia? The Fly Racing 15-second board up for the final time in 2025. WMX Race 2 here at Darwin, Australia. The MXGP of Australia, presented by Sitzler. Oh, great jump from Van Drunen in the middle of the box there. Has she timed that to perfection? Well, she did, but she couldn't get across, and it's Fontanesi who leads the way. But We're going to have a new leader as we head up over the hill, over the Foxhole shot line, and it's Van Drunen who leads on this opening lap. Now the pressure on the two girls behind her, Guillen and Fontanesi, the top three in the championship, the first three riders in the race, heading on to the opening lap of the final race of the year. Guillen in second, in red and yellow. That corner a lot more open. Fontanesi testing the boundaries of adhesion on that front end. Cannon looks like she's in fourth place, in black. But it's Van Drunen who leads the way. Maybe a little nervous yesterday, who knows, going into the race. But she definitely looks a little bit more up for it today. Cannon, the number 7, trying to push around the outside. Was that a good start for Papameyer? I think it was, yeah, in 5th place. Fontanesi pushing the track a little bit wetter, so constant pulling of tear-offs in the early stages of this second race here at Darwin at the Hidden Valley Motorsports Complex in Northern Territory. Cannon looking to make a run inside outside. Will she make the pass stick? We saw it a million times yesterday. Didn't work then, bar maybe 1 or 2 occasions. Didn't work on this occasion for the number 7. See how they've groomed that turn. There was very deep options through there yesterday. Inside was very deep and rutty. Outside wasn't clean on the exit, and those wave faces were all very chewed up come race afternoon on Saturday. Van Drunen leads. Van Drunen leading the way. She was just over half a second clear of Daniela Guillen when they hit the line, but Van Drunen just starting to make a little bit of a gap here on this second lap. See how deep that berm is. Looks like they want to, that berm wants to suck the riders in there just with the moisture. That's how it was on Friday when we had local Australian sort of 85 and MX3 riders riding around. There was a lot of water on the track. Those berms got a little bit soupy. But this is a gap between your race leader and Daniela Guillen. Stays like this, there's your championship look. Van Drunen 263, Fontanesi 247, 2 points behind Daniela Guillen. Of course, she comes into this final race just 4 behind Fontanesi, so second place in the championship is on the line here if Daniela Guillen finds her way past Van Drunen. And Guillen looking very keen to find a way past the Yamaha rider. Fontanesi about 2 seconds further back at the moment in 3rd place, still being harassed by Charlie Cannon. Coming into view now. Inside line works nice, but the outside gets a good momentum into those waves. You can see the gain that Daniela Guillen makes immediately. Because when you get out of the inside, you've got to go single and then try and generate speed for the double. And at the end of the lap, it's Guillen who leads. But not for much longer. Van Drunen fights back immediately, regains that advantage. But you can see the problem that Van Drunen had coming out of that penultimate turn into that wave section. If she goes outside, Guillen goes inside with an option of cleaning her out. So you go inside in defensive, you lose that drive and momentum going into that wave section. It was win-win for Guillen no matter what. So wasn't able to make that pass stick though. Right. Fontanesi starting to join the party. She's broken free from Charlie Cannon, who's now 2 seconds behind the Italian. Race times yesterday in the first race. 1:48.476. That was the fastest lap by Daniela Guillen. We're already into the 47, 46 territory by Guillen this time around. So the track quicker than it was yesterday after that overnight grooming by not much though. Still managed to leave a lot of the technical element of this racetrack, which will only get more technical as the race goes on. But look at Daniela Guillen once again fighting up and over this crest. The right-hander at the bottom of the hill, leading to that straight where we saw an attempt of a pass by Cannon on Fontanesi. Both keeping left to go sort of outside, inside, and then this is the turn that leads the riders back past pit lane. Guillen a little bit untidy on the exit of that corner. This time, Van Drunen says, you know what? I heard you there a lap ago. Not going to fall for the same mistake twice. And does not give the Spaniard even a sniff this time around. And this was a lap ago on that very same part of the racetrack. Coming through the final turn, again, Van Drunen went defensive. That momentum, 2 corners in a row, was enough for Guillen to get by, but not able to stay there because she just ran in deep. Van Drunen read it well, cut back to the inside, closed off the opportunity through turn 1. Van Drunen managed to hold on to the lead, and she leads still by 1.2 seconds with the fastest lap of the race on that second lap. Fontanesi, 1.8 seconds behind. She was 0.8 quicker than Guillen last time around. Circuit improving all the time. Again, Guillen through turn 8. The right-hander before heading down Liqui-Moly Hill. She seems to be very good in sector 2, Daniela Guillen. They'll feel it now as well as the sun starts to burst out from the clouds momentarily. Temperature will heat up quite significantly if it comes out for a prolonged amount of time. But 13.5 minutes plus 2 laps still to run in this race. Cannon hasn't been dropped completely by Fontanesi, so I wonder whether it was a mistake that allowed Fontanesi just to break free in the end of Cannon. But Cannon's starting to come back at the Italian. There you see on screen your top 2, and then 3rd and 4th. Fontanesi just under the monster banner now. Again, Lotte Van Drunen goes inside. And inside again, just like she did. Keeps it to the middle this time around, but she's not clean through there. And Guillen carrying so much speed. The gap as they hit the line at the end of lap 3, half a second, another fastest lap for the Spaniard. Desperate to find a way past the rider from the Netherlands in blue on the DeBarch Yamaha. Guillen can take the race win. Van Drunen can take second and still be crowned world champion. But 2nd and 3rd place in the title chase changes if this rider here makes her way into the lead and stays there by the end of the race. The gap between Guillen and Fontanesi in the championship as it stands right now. Fontanesi on 2:47, Guillen 2:45. The difference between 1st and 2nd, 25 points, 22 points. The gap of 3, that would clinch 2nd by a point for Daniela Guillen and push Fontanesi down to 3rd. Guillen, again, just trying to generate momentum up over that. It's a very difficult triple, I've got to say, even in dry conditions. Round the outside, but no way through. She cuts back to the inside this time, and she may even try to cut back early at the bottom of the hill out of this right-hander. But changed her mind. Goes all the way around the outside. Van Drunen was kind of caught between 2 minds there. Do I kind of read the cut back or what? And then next minute, round the outside, Daniela Guillen was already committed to that outside, takes over the lead. Got a new leader on lap 4, and she is in silver medal position in the 25 championship as it stands right now. Here's how she did it. Round the outside. By the time Van Drunen realized she was there and cut to the outside, pass had already been made. Van Drunen taking a look over the shoulder there as that pass was made. Wants to know exactly where Fontanesi is. Well, that's 3.5 seconds. So Fontanesi will now be getting the pit board this time around, saying, you must pass. And what would that do? That would get her back into 2nd by a championship point. Here is Chiara Fontanesi. Fantastic in race 1 yesterday. Thought she'd got the whole shot again in race 2, but was denied going through turn 2 by the championship leader. Quickly got passed by Daniela Guillen. Not been able to stay with the top 2 in the race so far, but 10 minutes plus 2, still a long way to go. There's Cannon lurking in the background as well. And we said in race 1, how important will the local riders here, like Charlie Cannon, like Taylor McCutcheon, be in this championship chase? Legs off the pegs there for Cannon. as she just caught some deep ruts on that crest. Spoke to her this morning, just as she'd arrived in the paddock with her team boss, Yariv Konski, and just said she was disappointed with the race she rode yesterday, but just trying too hard as well to make amends. And I spoke to Yariv afterwards as well, and he just said, I think she was just trying too hard to impress in front of the home fans, just to give them something to cheer about. So it's not easy riding your home Grand Prix, and this is the first experience for Charlie Cannon, don't forget, to ride at home despite having ridden a few races in the World Championship back in Europe. Just adds that little bit of extra pressure, but hopefully a little bit more settled this time around in race 2. Back markers just starting to become problematic with 9 minutes to go. Guillen, 4.5 seconds clear of Van Drunen. Fontanesi, 2 seconds further back. Needs to take second in the race if she's to take second in the championship by a point. She arrived here second in the championship, knowing that it was going to be quite a difficult task anyway, 16 points. But you can see she's closing in again once more on Van Drunen. Van Drunen can't afford to hang around, but the one thing that she does have, even if Guillen finds a way, even if Fontanesi finds her way past, is that it's Guillen who leads and not Fontanesi. And that championship stat that we had earlier in the race, where if Fontanesi wins the race, Van Drunen can afford to finish as low as 6. Well, with Guillen leading the way, you can afford to drop a little bit further down the order. Not too much, but there is more of a safety net there at the moment with 8 minutes to go. Wasn't the best lap time last time around for Lotte Van Drunen. 1:49.2 compared to the 46.3 and 47.7 of Guillen and Fontanesi. Cannon was a 47.8. The gap between the first 4, around about 8 seconds. We'll get another time check as they hit the line. It's now 10 actually, because Cannon just losing touch, losing a bit of time in the third and fourth sectors on this racetrack. But the battle for second place heating up now. Van Drunen is being caught by Fontanesi. The number 8 on the gas. Bit of a steady start to the race for the number 8. But as conditions have improved, maybe dried out a little bit. Normally she's pretty good in the wetter conditions. She was just a little bit more tentative than Guillen and Van Drunen. Van Drunen, you understand, because she was leading the race and obviously wanted to apply the pressure to the other 2 riders in the championship, Fontanesi and Guillen. But Guillen responded first, found her way into the lead, and Fontanesi now looking to get over. Tell you what, she has got a very quick motorcycle, easily clears that uphill triple where no one else is able to, and flies into second position. Van Drunen now starting to look around a little bit nervously. She'll see Charlie Cannon there. I'm sure she knows the stats as well, but one thing that's in her favour, or another thing that's in her favour, is the gap between Guillen and Fontanesi is nearly 8 seconds. So either Fontanesi now has to go for broke, or hope for a mistake from the Spaniard. This is how she did it. Look, generates the speed around the outside. Gets good drive, easily clears the uphill triple. We are in to lap 8. Cannon still there. 11.5 seconds off the lead, but only 1.5 off of Van Drunen now. Guillen and Fontanesi, that gap has gone out to 8.9, nearly 9 seconds between first and second. So Daniela Guillen, who arrived here with 3 race wins, stays like this, all the top 3 in the championship would finish on 4 race wins apiece. And here is the Spaniard. podium as it stands right now would be Guillen, Fontanesi, Van Drunen. Charlie Cannon would be 4th overall this weekend. Was hoping for a podium, but not able to do that. She got 4th when she did that final round in Turkey last year. Got a 4th overall in Spain back in 2023. Here she is going after Lotte Van Drunen, who maybe now, with about 4 minutes to go, plus 2 laps, starting to think about the championship, just going into preservation mode, championship mode, if you like. Flying start, that settled the nerves. You'd rather be leading on that one rather than sort of going down in the first turn and then having to fight your way through traffic, and that risk versus reward situation. You do not want to be in that situation there. 8 laps complete. Guillen now more than 10 seconds clear of Fontanesi, but it's Cannon now pressurising the 4:01 of Lotte Van Drunen. With 3.5 minutes to go, we are now starting to look at a 2-time world champion, number 4:01, Lotte Van Drunen. Fontanesi will take the silver medal by a point over Daniela Guillen. They were 1 point apart coming into this weekend's final round. But it'll be Van Drunen who will win the championship. Things stay as they are. Last year, went down to the final round. Won by 4 points. Listen to the crowd for Charlie Cannon, urging her for that top 3 race finish. Surely she's never felt anything like this type of support. The quad block Honda rider lighting up the back end. Only going to be one outcome there through that tight left. Back marker on the horizon. She might get good speed through here. There's a back marker here on the exit of the turn. It's going to be Cannon who has to avoid, so couldn't generate the speed that she wanted to. Into lap 10. Great ride this from Charlie Cannon. Remember, she fell from 2nd in the race 1 yesterday. A little bit of speedway style there. Got herself into 2nd. She was challenging for the lead, and she just lost the front. And as her bike crashed, Guillen came over the crest, landed on top of her Honda, and then fell again later on in the race. Eventually came home in 7th place. That potentially then takes her out of podium contention. But I don't think we come to a place like Australia with a view that we're only going to come here for 1 round. So I would imagine that we come here again. And if that is the case, will WMX be on the billing as well? Will she get another opportunity to land on the podium, maybe even win at home? Going forward at this venue, Charlie Cannon. Fontanesi knew it was a big ask anyway, but went out and won the first race without a care in the world. Cannon coming through traffic. She's found her way into 3rd. So Cannon out to 3rd. Found her way past Van Drunen. So the pass had already happened at that point. There's a back marker there on the 22. Waved yellows. Rider off the side of the track. Either way, for Charlie Cannon. She went 5-4 last year in Turkey. She competed in the majority of the series, but this will be a top 3 finish. So in 2023, she did all but 1 round, got a couple of 4th place finishes, but this will be her first ever top 3 race finish in WMX. And she's got Chiara Fontanesi right there ahead of her as well now. So she's done well to claw back that deficit. So this was a pass for 3rd, and that was a lap ago on this same part of the racetrack where Cannon found her way past. So that's Fontanesi getting up over the triple. And then maybe just behind was the pass. Anyway, this is Fontanesi. And there's Cannon. So Fontanesi can't afford to switch off now because she will lose 2nd place in the championship again if Cannon finds a way past. We've got 3 laps to go. Guillen already over the line. 2 to go now. Can Charlie Cannon affect the outcome of this championship here in the final 2 laps? Having a dig extremely deep this weekend. 2nd in the time practice session, gave a gate pick. 2nd choice for the races all weekend long. Daniela Guillen here. 7.3 seconds clear of Chiara Fontanesi. Still a bronze medal for the Spaniard at the moment. Last year it was silver. 23, it was silver for Daniela Guillen. Downhill for the final time for the Spaniard. Keeping an eye on the splits between 2nd and 3rd place riders, Fontanesi and Cannon. They're still a 2nd apart. Van Drunen in 4th place, though. Stays like this, then she will be crowned world champion for a 2nd time. This is how tight it is for 2nd place in the race and 2nd overall in the 2025 World Championship, don't forget. Fontanesi, 2nd in the race, is enough to be given that 2nd place silver medal. Sure, she wants gold. She wants to be world champion. But that is out of her hands. But she can control what's going on behind her in this situation. A lap to go. Fontanesi putting a little bit of distance between her and the Australian now. Stretching out at the top end of the circuit. Everything that Charlie Cannon has thrown at Fontanesi, the Italian has just been able to deal with and bat it away. Still a very impressive performance. Shame, said it again, shame about what happened in race 1 yesterday. Crash and then another crash on lap 5. Left her with a lot more work to do. Got back to 7th, but she was up there challenging. She was in 2nd place with Guillen right behind her. So you come out of that race finishing 3rd, and all of a sudden you're 3rd now in the race. You're on the podium this weekend. So the tail of the tape in that respect is all you need to know. Daniela Guillen, though, is on her way to taking victory for the 4th time in 2025. And the final race of the year. Chiara Fontanesi on course for the silver medal, but Lotte Van Drunen 15 seconds further back. She is going to be on course for World Championship number 2. Daniela Guillen wins the race. That's third overall in the championship. Fontanesi will be second in the race and second overall in the championship. But stand up, take a bow. Lotte van Drunen, maybe a little bit nervy in race 1. Came out firing on all cylinders in race 2. Led the way, set the pace, put the pressure on everybody else behind her. She knew third, fourth would be good enough, and it is. Lotte van Drunen crosses the line to win the 2025 World Championship. Back-to-back victories now for the rider from the Netherlands, the Queen of Sand, Lotte van Drunen on the Debach Yamaha. Joyous scenes down there as Lotte van Drunen wins again. Danny de Bart's there, the team owner. Everybody getting in on the act. And as soon as she removes the helmet, of course, we will grab a quick word with Lisa Leyland. Lotte van Drunen, a two-time world champion. What a day, what a weekend, what a season for the Queen of Sand. Getting the job done here at the final round.
Lotte van Drunen, massive congratulations. You did it again. You're a two-time world champion.
Yeah, this is incredible. I know there's some girls out there that already won the championship after the news of my injury came out and I wasn't gonna make it, but I did, and I'm an 18-year-old with 2 world titles, so it's incredible. I can't thank the people around me enough, the team, all my sponsors, my friends and family, especially my dad is incredible, and also my trainer, I know he's at home watching this right now. He's gonna be bald very soon. Kenny, jongen, kom allemaal goed. Thank you to everyone.
Enjoy this moment. Congratulations, Lotte.
Lotte van Drunen, your 2025 FIM Women's Motocross World Champion. She started off the season in fine style, picking up the overall win in Sardinia with double race wins. She got a third, she was on the podium twice in Germany and the Netherlands. Missed the podium in Turkey, she's back on the podium here, but her results this weekend. Third in race 1, fourth in race 2, enough to clinch the championship for the second time running. Lotte van Drunen, your world champion 2025. Daniela Guillen then wins her 4th race victory of the season. The same as Lotte van Drunen and Chiara Fontanesi. That's how evenly matched it was in those stakes. Fontanesi second, Cannon third, Lotte van Drunen 4th place. Enough to be crowned world champion. Larissa Papenmeier 5, Thompson was 6, Rimbaud 7, Verstappen 8. 9th for Simpson and 10th for Missouri of Germany. Then we had Healy, Lambert, Tong, Cheplakova, Franson, Wally, Shrimpton, Giddis, MacArthur and McCutcheon. Saw yellows over on the top of the hill just before the city jump, and I wonder if that was McCutcheon. Might have been, but who knows. Hopefully she's okay if that was the case. But Lotte van Drunen, 2025 world champion, was able to get on a bike and ride, I saw from a social media post this week. So maybe that also made a difference, who knows. Daniela Guillen takes the overall victory of the season, her 2nd Grand Prix win of the campaign. Fontanesi 2nd overall, 3rd for van Drunen. The top 3 in the championship on the podium, but in reverse order here this weekend. A fantastic performance from Charlie Cannon with 4th overall. Of course, she would have hoped for better. And Larissa Papenmeier rounding out the final Grand Prix of the year, 5th overall, 3rd time now, 5th place finisher on the Honda. Verstappen, Simpson and Rimbus rounding out your top 8. 9th and 10th going to Healy and Thompson. Take a look at the championship standings then. In the end, Lotte van Drunen winning by 7 points over Chiara Fontanesi. Guillen just another point further back. And remember, that pass on Charlie Cannon on Fontanesi, if it happened, would have reversed that silver medal and bronze medal position. But Fontanesi hung on. She's got another silver medal. Guillen 2nd. Guillen third overall, Papenmeier fourth in the championship. She leapfrogged Verstappen. Papenmeier will be over the moon with that. Verstappen probably a little bit disappointed, but Papenmeier did start fifth in the championship. Verstappen sixth overall coming into this weekend. Disappointment for Lynn Volk, of course, breaking her leg at her home Grand Prix in the Netherlands. She drops tonight, but she was very much a World Championship contender before that happened. But we're going to get ready to go down to the podium shortly. But Gas win the Manufacturers' World Championship for the first time in WMX from Yamaha, KTM, Honda, Kawasaki, Fantic, Triumph and Husqvarna. Congratulations to Gas on what has been a fantastic season. Of course, in effect, they've got two riders that were shooting for those points. If it wasn't a Daniela Guillen win, it was going to be a Chiara Fontanesi win. Van Drunen's wins were kind of what made the difference there for Yamaha for the most part. But what a fantastic season we had. Very open once again. They've enjoyed it. Race one out of the way here today on Sunday. Slightly cooler as well, because even when we got here on Thursday and Friday, people walking around, the word that was used was brutal. Unless you were in the shade, it was very difficult to cool down. That's how hot it was. But fortunately today, we've got a bit of cloud cover, but that also means humidity is up. Might get a little bit of rain later on. Wouldn't be 2025 if we didn't have a bit of rain in the driest place on Earth, would it? Solves a few problems in that climate change thing. Bring MXGP to town. We'll bring some rain with us. Don't worry about that. Podium getting ready. And obviously you saw the top three in the championship bikes there being presented as well, ready for the final celebration. That's the podium bike, though, at the moment. Daniela Guillen in the left for first. Chiara Fontanesi's bike second. Third overall, Lotte van Drunen, already with the gold plate on the front of that motorcycle, that Debach Yamaha. Let's go and get the first podium out of the way then, shall we? For the overall here at this MXGP of Australia, presented by Sitzler. So third overall this weekend, Lotte van Drunen, Debach Yamaha.
Welcome to the podium now.
A third and a fourth place finish, enough to seal the deal here at Darwin, Australia, at the Hidden Valley Motorsports Complex in the Northern Territory. Job done, she'll sleep well tonight. Second overall, Fonta MX, Gas rider Chiara Fontanesi. Knew that it was an uphill task, but second overall here this weekend at the final round. Kiss to the kids at home. A win and a second place. Still a fantastic Grand Prix for Fontanesi. Your overall winner here this weekend, Daniela Guillen, RFME Spain national team. The Gas rider, a second and a first on the top step of the podium for the second time. And she's been on the podium 5 rounds in a row. Second in Spain, third in Germany, a win in the Netherlands, second in Turkey, a win here. But to go out with a win at the final round, absolutely fantastic. Paco Rico, he will take the team award a little later on, but Laurie Zio, the member for Fanny Bay, hands a third place trophy to Lotte van Drunen. Third overall here this weekend. But the bigger picture is much more real than that, as you can see from the front plate on the front of her motorcycle. We ate at Fanny Bay last night, very nice. The Honourable Gerard Marley, Acting Chief Minister of the Northern Territory, handing the second place trophy to Chiara Fontanesi. That's your exceeded weight limit for hand luggage alone, isn't it? The big man, the main man, the FIM president, Jorge Villegas, on hand to deliver the winner's trophy to Daniela Guillen, the winner here, the MXGP of Australia. Presented by Sitzler. That will look good on the mantelpiece when she gets home. The first ever winner of a WMX Grand Prix down under is Daniela Guillen. Paco Rico will take the team trophy back to Spain. Once again, thanks to all of our dignitaries and members of state, parliament, and all the rest of it that help put on an event like this. Antonio Elia Portela, the FIM CMS director, walks out, cool as ever, delivers the gold plate 2 years in a row. Lotte van Drunen, the Bart Yamaha MX team, a two-time world champion, winning back-to-back titles, 2024 and 2025. But for now, the national anthem of Spain for Daniela Guillen, your overall winner here this weekend.
Now to the anthem for our winning manufacturer from Austria.
Your top three overall here at the final round of 2025. The FIM Women's Motocross World Championship. Daniela Guillen with a second and a first. Your overall winner. Chiara Fontanesi second overall with a first and a second. Third overall and the newly crowned world champion. Back-to-back titles. Lotte van Drunen. A third and a fourth was good enough to get the job done here in Australia. The same three riders will remain on the podium in a different order as we present the medals to the top three in the final championship standings. So just bear with us 1 second. We'll get this podium ceremony out of the way. We'll see the highlights of the race, and then we will talk to the top three in the championship as well. So they've already resumed their position up there on the podium. So we are just moments away from medal time. But it's been a fascinating championship battle. Lynn Volk was very much in the hunt with a third and a fourth at the first 3 rounds. So 3, 4, 4. Then she got injured at home in the Netherlands. And she was very much a contender. How different could that championship have been had she made it through there and got to Turkey and then come here to Australia as well? Of course, we will never know. Hopefully she gets her opportunity again in the future. Third overall in the championship. Second the last 2 seasons, Daniela Guillen, RFME Spain national team. 5 podiums from 6 rounds, 2 wins, 2 seconds and a third, 4 race wins along the way for the rider on the gas. Peter Doyle, the FIM Oceania president. Good to have you here, Mr. Doyle. Second overall in the championship, silver medal for Chiara Fontanesi, MX Fonta Racing. Again, 4 race wins. 4 podiums, 3 wins and a second for the Italian. Mr. Jorge Villegas, the FIM president, delivers the gold medal to Lotte van Drunen, de Bart's Yamaha MX team. 2025 FIM Women's Motocross World Champion. 4 race wins, 5 podiums, a win, 2 seconds, 2 thirds. That's how it finished in 2025. David Luongo, Infront Motor Racing CEO, will join Mr. Antonio Elia Portela, the FIM CMS Director, and Mr. Vegas, the FIM President, and Mr. Doyle for a big family photo here this weekend with all 3 medalists from 2025. Of course, then there'll just be the winner's photo, and whilst that's happening, we will check out the highlights of race 2, the final race of the year in 2025 in the FIM Women's Motocross World Championship. Some of the thoughts there. Long last race for Lotte van Drunen. Take a look at the race then. Here's what happened, race 2. The final gate drop for the 2025 FIM Women's Motocross World Championship. Lotte van Drunen from the middle of the gate. Looked like she made the whole shot there, but it was Fontanesi who tried to run her wide on the exit. The Dutch rider cut back to the inside, took over the lead, and it was the Yamaha who took the whole shot. Guillen then moved into second. Fontanesi was third. Charlie Cannon fourth. Larissa Papameyer in 5th place. Papameyer would eventually finish in 5th position as the fight for the championship continued, not just for first, but also for second and third in those final standings. Daniela Guillen eventually found a way around the outside of Lotte van Drunen to take over the lead, but guess what? It wasn't for long. The Dutch rider cut back and had a straighter run towards turn 1, made that move stick, regained the lead almost as quickly as she'd lost it. But then, second time around for Guillen, railed the outside line, took over the lead on lap 4. Chiara Fontanesi then also found a way past the 4:01, and that got her back into second place in the championship overall by a point over Daniela Guillen. Guillen went on to win the race for the 4th time this year from Chiara Fontanesi, Charlie Cannon and Lotte van Drunen. 3rd place secured in the championship for the Spanish rider. Silver for Chiara Fontanesi, but a gold medal for the 2nd successive season for Lotte van Drunen. Across the line in 4th place. Title number 2 in the books for the rider from the Netherlands. A long moto, as she said after the race, on the podium. But she can now call herself a 2-time world champion at 18 years old. Congratulations, Lotte van Drunen and de Baart's Yamaha MX team. That was your podium. Daniela Guillen, Chiara Fontanesi, Lotte van Drunen, Charlie Cannon and Larissa Papameyer. 2nd win of the season for the Spaniard. Van Drunen crowned world champion by 7 points over Fontanesi and Daniela Guillen. And Larissa Papameyer moves to 4th at the final round of 2025. That was your podium. Guillen, Fontanesi, Van Drunen. But it's Van Drunen who leaves here with the gold plate. Gold medal around the neck for Lotte van Drunen. Silver for Chiara Fontanesi. Bronze for Daniela Guillen.
Our 2025 WMX World Champion, Lotte van Drunen. Lotte, you were a little bit nervous yesterday, but you did exactly what you needed to do today to claim your 2nd world title. Sense of relief, what's the feeling right now?
I can't describe it, it's incredible, wow. I've been in so much pain with my ankle, and now to do it while having that is something that means a lot to me, for sure, and one that I won't remember. We've worked really, really hard, not just me, but everybody around me, and I really can't thank the people around me enough. So I'm gonna work really, really hard and try to not get injured this winter and be better than ever next year.
Enjoy every moment. Thank you, Lotte. Our silver medalist, we have Chiara Fontanesi. Chiara, huge congratulations to you. You have the silver medal. You took the fight to the final round, to the final race, and you've had a fantastic run of form this year, 3 overall victories. How are you feeling right now?
Oh, I can't even speak, honestly. I'm so happy. I'm so happy. I mean, I'm crying of joy. It's like amazing when I hear you telling me my results. It's like unbelievable because I never realized how much I did and what I do. And I'm so happy. I just wanted to win another GP, but important was to start first. My block suspension for the start didn't get off in first corner, so I went so much wide and missed the whole shot. But I did a good comeback and managed to finish 2nd in the GP and 2nd in the championship. And this honestly feels like a gold medal for me. So thank you very much. Thanks everything for everybody for the support. My family that stay home. And vi voglio bene, bimbe. Grazie, Devin.
Thank you, Chiara. 3rd overall in the championship, and with that bronze medal. Daniela, you've been so solid, you've been so consistent all year. You took the fight to the final round as well, and you finished the season with an overall victory. How do you feel right now?
Yeah, I feel good. I'm so happy for the decisions that I do. I think that in Riola, the crash and all the things that happened, mentalmente for me was so difficult, but I battle a lot with me, and I think I do a good job. And yeah, I'm really happy for the season. I want to say thank you my team that do a good job, and yeah, I'm happy.
You did a great job this year. Thank you, Daniela.
Third overall in the 2025 FIM Women's Motocross World Championship then, Daniela Guillen sounds out in fine style with the overall victory. 10 race wins now, 18 podiums, 5 of those as a Grand Prix winner. Chiara Fontanesi second overall in the 2025 championship. She leaves here now as a 52-time race winner. And this podium here this weekend, where she was second overall, giving her 60th career podium. Congratulations, Chiara Fontanesi, second overall in the championship. Lotte van Drunen, back-to-back world titles now for the 18-year-old, the Debach Yamaha rider. Her 13th career podium, 3 of those are the third-place finisher. But it is back-to-back world titles for the Queen of Sand, winning here in Australia at Darwin in Northern Territory. And we will take a break. We will be back at midday, 12 o'clock, so an hour and a half from now for the final races of the season. MX2 and MXGP, they're right around the corner. We'll see you then. Bye for now.